If you're searching for the perfect place to dine, let the stars lead the way. Michelin stars, of course.
There was a time when a Michelin star wasn't just a compliment, it was a crown. A symbol of culinary supremacy, a dream for chefs, a destination for diners, a legacy. But now, that star is starting to dim. Across the world, chefs are returning their stars. Critics are calling out bias. Diners are turning away from the once mighty Red Book. Jay Rayner, food critic for The Guardian, exclaimed, "Michelin is no longer the Bible. It's just another marketing tool." How did a tire company become the global judge of fine dining? And why are so many now questioning everything it stands for? This isn't just about food, it's about power, pressure, and a system that may be cracking under its own weight. This is the rise and reckoning of the Michelin Guide. Before we uncover the truth, hit like if you've ever questioned who decides what fine dining really means. And subscribe if you're ready for more deep dives into food, culture, and power.
So this is it, Michelin headquarters here in Paris. It's from here that the inspectors get sent out around the world to cast those judgments on all those poor chefs.
So there does seem to be an extraordinary culture of secrecy around Michelin. You know, we're here in the basement, it's like a bank vault.
We have to do this secrecy for one reason, because we have to respect the fact that the inspectors will never be recognized. And the fact you couldn't come to my office is not because it's not tidy or whatever, it's because we have inspectors all around today. And obviously we didn't want you to take any photo shoot of them. So that's one of the things. The secrecy is about the inspection. The secrecy is about the culture of the fact that we're doing this guide like a regular guest. Michelin is not trying to give what's going to be the trend of tomorrow. Michelin is here to reveal the trend of today.
The year was 1900. The world was on wheels. But in France, cars were still a luxury and roads were unreliable. Enter André and Edouard Michelin, brothers and owners of the Michelin tire company. They needed to get people driving more, and that meant more travel, more repairs, and more tire sales. Their idea? List gas stations, places to sleep, and of course, where to eat. That clever marketing gimmick quietly laid the foundation for what would become the most powerful food guide in history. By 1926, the guide started awarding stars to exceptional restaurants, and then in 1931, the now famous three-star system was born. The following is how restaurants were judged. 1 star, a very good restaurant in its category. 2 stars, excellent cooking worth a detour. 3 stars, exceptional cuisine worth a special journey. Some would say this was a rating system shrouded in total mystery. The Michelin Guide became more than a book. It became an arbiter of taste, an evil empire in the making. Michelin's anonymity became its mystique. Inspectors trained rigorously, eating thousands of meals a year, never revealing their identity.
We do spend quite a lot of time dining alone when we travel around the British Isles, but also when we're back in London, we eat together in pairs, and we've got women on the team as well. So we go out looking like any other couple might look when they go out to a restaurant.
They were culinary phantoms, feared, revered, and trusted like gods. And as the stars grew in fame, so did their power. A star could double a restaurant's bookings overnight. 3 stars could turn a chef into a global icon. But with that power came a darker side, one no one wanted to talk about. Ruth Reichel, former editor of Gourmet, stated, "The Michelin Guide became the most powerful institution in dining and the most feared."
One man called Hubert says, ever since he, that's Bernard, won the 3rd star, he'd been haunted by the idea of losing it. The idea of being demoted, of becoming just a 2-star chef was intolerable. His whole raison d'etre had been the glory of the top position. I'm the best, everyone loves me. And it was that fear that he had of losing that position that really, really got to him. And it's that quest for perfection that so many chefs go for in order to get these coveted Michelin stars.
The pursuit of perfection isn't just hard, it's relentless. Michelin doesn't just reward good food, it demands flawlessness, precision, consistency and silence. A misplaced fork, A sauce 1 degree too warm, a wine pairing off by a second could cost everything. Chef Bernard Loiseau was a French culinary legend. His restaurant, La Côte d'Or, held 3 stars. He was passionate, driven, meticulous to a fault. But in 2003, he shot himself with a hunting rifle. And why? Rumours swirled that Michelin was planning to take away one of his stars. The guide denied it, but the fear, the pressure, it was real. Then came Marco Pierre White, one of the youngest chefs to ever earn 3 stars. In 1999, he gave them back. I was being judged by people with less knowledge than me. In 2017, Sébastien Bras, whose family had held 3 stars for nearly 2 decades, asked to be removed from the guide altogether. He told the world, "I want to cook with freedom, with soul, not for a shadow behind a napkin." But perhaps the most heartbreaking stories are the silent ones. The sous chef who hasn't slept properly in years. The line cook crying in the walk-in freezer. The young woman who was told her dream job meant never taking a sick day. These stories drip with sadness and regret.
How important are stars to chefs? I mean, do you have them on the phone, bleating, I want to get a star, I want to get a star? I mean,
Most chefs, it's very, very important for them. Is it as important for the restaurant? Not always, but for the chef, it is the sort of ultimate accolade.
Have you ever worked in a kitchen? Or seen someone buckle under pressure for the sake of excellence? Drop a comment below. Tell your story.
I mean, do you think it represents a style of dining that is old-fashioned?
I mean, what are restaurants for? Restaurants are for the customers, but the customers were sort of expected to worship at the temple of the Michelin stars, and those restaurants were boring. And there's no question that when it comes to cooking, Michelin has been generally a really good arbiter. But when it comes to creating restaurants you want to go to, it hasn't got a clue.
Let's ask the uncomfortable question. Is Michelin fair or just really French? Over 70% of Michelin-starred restaurants are still in Europe. Yes, Michelin has slowly expanded, but the core of its judgment remains deeply rooted in French and European traditions. In India, home to one of the richest food cultures on earth, there are no Michelin stars. In Africa, the same. Whole continents ignored. In Tokyo, street food joints and sushi bars began receiving stars, a surprising move that signaled openness. But was it genuine or marketing? Even in the United States, inconsistencies abound. Los Angeles, home to one of the most diverse and exciting food scenes in the world, was ignored by Michelin for years. And why? Because Michelin favors formality, white tablecloths, silent dining rooms, French techniques. Cities such as Los Angeles were too casual, too multicultural, not fine enough.
Have you eaten a hot dog from a cart?
Yes, I did.
You did? How'd you like it?
I think that's part of the New York experience as well.
That sounds like a very polite no star for you.
And then there's the money. In South Korea, reports emerged that the government had paid Michelin millions to bring the guide to Seoul. Critics accused the guide of playing favorites, using stars not as recognition, but as leverage in tourism deals. Critics questioned, were stars being bought? Pete Wells of New York Times wrote, "When stars follow money, not merit, the whole system collapses." The glaring truth is, Michelin hasn't changed much in the last 100 years. Today, food is no longer dictated from the top down. It flows in every direction. Social media has created a new kind of food critic, one with no star system, just a smartphone and a story. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and local blogs spotlight the people Michelin never noticed. Grandmother-run kitchens, immigrant chefs, queer-owned diners, food trucks feeding entire neighborhoods. More and more, the chefs shaping the future of food don't even want the stars. Some restaurants explicitly ask not to be reviewed. Others close for lunch or skip the wine list. Some ditch white tablecloths. Chefs are also reclaiming their power. There are chefs creating zero-waste menus, farms that cook what they grow, restaurants that don't even use reservations. They aren't chasing stars, they're building communities. In Berlin, at Nobelhart and Schmutzig, the owner, Billy Wagner, famously told Michelin to stay away. His restaurant isn't chasing stars, it's chasing integrity. He boldly states, "I don't want to play a game with outdated rules." And many others continue to hand back their stars, not in anger, but in exhaustion. Maybe the dining world doesn't want tasting menus with 16 courses anymore. Maybe they just seek a meal with a soul, a plate with a story. And that doesn't need a star.
I was very emotional about it. And what I meant by that, and I still hold very strong about it, when I work, I don't work for star Michelins or A stars or nothing. I work for excellence. Because when you go in a star, when you say I want a star Michelin, you are talking about serious money into the environment you're creating, serious money into food cost, into wage cost.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get that star, what's happening?
So
You lose
it
your
must
business.
therefore be quite.
You lose your business.
Yeah, so it can be quite destructive.
For over a century, the Michelin Guide ruled the culinary world. It crowned kings, created legends, crushed dreams. But now let's ask, who decides what greatness tastes like? Who gets to say what's worthy? And who gets left out when the rules were never made for them? Maybe it's time we stop chasing stars and start celebrating the food that feeds our souls.